When everything feels like the movies, you bleed just to know you're alive. Are you bored? You have to be, but you refuse to be. You'd rather be angry at a friend because of an article shared, upset along a friend because of some dumb tweet. You'd rather be terribly enraged because of something shared by some family member you're barely related to that they put online. Anything but bored. You want so badly to be engaged that you'd, well, as an example, this guy is left in a room with a toy that does nothing but give him a painful electrical shock. 2 minutes of boredom, and he knowingly pushes the button. 7 minutes in, he does it again. He even laughs at himself for how stupid this is. This is not someone that you don't know. This is you. This is what you do. You bleed just to know you're alive. Say what you will about pain. It isn't boring. Depression is a kind of pain. But the problem with being depressed is it's so exhausting. It's literally a downer. If only there was a way to process negative emotions with energy. And this is where anger comes in. Let me give you a spoiler of how every single fight with a loved one is going to end. You're actually sad. You're letting it be anger so that you don't have to be vulnerable. It takes real work, real discipline to take that anger and let it be the sadness that it really is. So for now, you're angry. Social media loves that you're angry. It's their cash cow. To quote someone who helped us get smartphones, we know anger is addictive. We know we can attract people to our platform and get engagement if we get them pissed off enough. So therefore what? We should capitalize on that each and every time? Why do I keep going on Facebook if it makes me so mad? You keep going on Facebook because it makes you mad. If it wasn't painful, you wouldn't do it. That's what's addictive. And they get the most out of a post if it makes you angry. Or make someone else angry. In Canada, it's even worse. We're getting angry at imaginary Americans that we have never met and may not even exist. So helpful. There's a bit that won't surprise you. People aren't logical when they're angry. Different parts of the brain are responsible for anger and logic. When you're using one, you're not using the other. So your brain tells you, look, we'll be logical when we're safe. So for right now, it's fight, flight, or freeze. And the least vulnerable of these is fight. Let me take a moment. I shall murder this fly. Oh, you're not. Surprise, surprise, this creates the worst avenues for growth. Algorithms built on anger means that you're engaged with the world in the least logical way possible. Have you ever tried to be thoughtful? Meditation is really boring. You'd rather be angry. You'd rather be in pain. A lack of human connection is why we went down this dark path in the first place. And now that we're in fight mode, wow, there's a group fighting the same enemy. So we bundle together. And the only thing required to be part of this group is the common enemy. It feels so good. So we bundle together. We fasten to each other against a common enemy. This symbol of the bundle is actually one of the oldest symbols of democracy. It is everywhere. Here's a statue of George Washington with the bundle behind him. Here's Alexander Hamilton. Here's those bundles framing the Declaration of Independence. This ancient weapon and symbol for democracy gains its strength from these weak sticks being fastened together. And it is called a fasces. and from it we get the term fascism. But I thought that fascism was, you don't know how to define it because we've been defining it by whatever we consider evil. I am not being hyperbolic here. Fascism isn't a possible danger in democracy. Fascism is an inherent property of democracy. And that's why here's Abraham Lincoln sitting on his fascist throne. Emancipation was positively viewed as fascism. And that's why fascism is far more dangerous than any of us really considered. Any joining of a group together over a common enemy, be it for good or for evil, that's fascism. It's so much more tempting. So fascism freed the slaves, according to these images, and it's also why we got slavery in the first place. Democracy is fascist, the police are fascist, the protesters, they're fascist, the militias, definitely fascist, rioters, also fascist, your grandmother is fascist. The communists, the identitarians, the people saying the right, they're the real fascists, and the people saying the left, they're the real fascists. All of them all have one thing in common. They're all fascists. Is your kind the good kind? You can't know. Remember, you engaging with the part of your brain that uses anger means you're not using logic. I don't know who's wielding this bundle. It might just be the algorithm, but bundled we all are. There's a link in the description where you can see all the ways that Fasces is used to describe stuff, the symbolism. Some of the stuff you definitely approve of. That's not the only way to bring people together. And I don't just want to say, hey, you're being weaponized without you noticing, so notice, though I do want to say that. But more than that, I want to show a better way. Membership. Not a term that you've thought a lot about, but I think its origins is how we combat fascism. Members are parts of a body. Your hand is a member of your body. Your eyes are a member of your body. Your feet are a member of your body. And in this thinking, the head is what ties it all together. A first century writer wrote that a group of believers, that the churches should operate like they were a body. So each part was to have a function. Each person with their individual gifts and talents and personality, those were the different parts. Each member was to take care of, but also to contribute to the larger body. They were to mourn when they were mourning, to celebrate with each other when they were celebrating. The eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. On the contrary, the parts of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. Okay, this was written in a church context. So for them, the head of the body that tied it all together, that was Jesus. But think about that for any group of people. Anyone being gathered together, you don't need a common enemy. You could be bound together by something positive. I've been part of many groups that function like a body. I'm in a theater group that raised up money when one of the actors got into an accident. I was part of community housing, and we pooled resources, found out what people's skills were so that we could have these welcoming meals. I've been part of ethnic communities where we would go to specific restaurants because it was owned by someone's in-laws, cousin's nephew. A fasces is held together against an enemy. It has no function without an enemy. And it doesn't care about its parts. They're just dead sticks. But a body is living. It's dynamic. It's attentive. It needs no enemy. It seeks the health of its members and not the death of someone else. I don't even think it needs to be said, but any healthy body can still morph and switch into a weaponized bundle. A church can easily switch into an organization agreeing on nothing more than who they hate. Maybe we're being weaponized against something evil. Maybe it's against something good. There is plenty worth being angry about. And that will join you to other angry people, but the body is a joining of love.
Did you get it?
No. We are bored, lonely. Just be aware of that as everything in this world is trying to enrage us, we could instead act like part of a body. That person that you know that's rage posting, they're rage posting because they want to be a part of something. It is social media. Help them find a body to be a part of instead of a bundle. Elections are just about to happen. There'll be other disasters, there'll be crimes, systems will still be here that are problems, there's ideas that we're trying to figure out. There is so much that we could be angry about. Let's calm down and be part of a body. I don't think we'll regret that.